Maneater is a game that I've had my eye on for a while. The self-proclaimed shark RPG looked like it had the right blend of fun and exploration that I personally love. And after getting my hands on the game last week, I can confirm the game is very fun. Now don't get me wrong, Maneater won't be winning any Game of the Year awards anytime soon, but it's a good game that lets you tear it up as a shark. Thankfully, it's also packed with tons of Easter eggs, secrets and references, and today I'll be taking you through 25 of my favourites. Of course, there is every chance that I have missed something here, so if you know of a Maneater Easter egg that I am yet to cover, then the best place to let me know is in the comments section or on my social media accounts, the links to which are in the description. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. So the majority of the Easter eggs in Maneater are references to TV and movies, which I personally enjoy, as long as it's not the same 3 movies over and over again. Our first Easter egg can be found at this location on the map.
There's no such thing as a recession-proof business, except for the frozen banana stand. Whether boom or bust, the demand for reliable, quality frozen bananas remains a constant.
So the banana stand is a reference to the TV show Arrested Development, and this often repeated line.
Why didn't you tell me that? How much clearer can I say? There's always money in the banana stand!
Up next is another TV show reference that is immediately recognisable. At this location on the map, you can find this.
Sea sponges' demand for pineapple homes has sparked massive deforestation throughout Costa Rica. But being brainless, sponges rarely weigh the consequences of their buying decisions.
So this pineapple under the sea is an obvious reference to Spongebob SquarePants. This next find is a reference to one of my favourite action films ever. At this location on the map, you can find this.
In a not-so-distant future, a young visionary entrepreneur will spot these 3 shells while snorkeling and revolutionize after-toilet care.
So to the untrained eye, these 3 shells are just that, 3 shells. But fans of the Sylvester Stallone movie Demolition Man will recognise these shells as the way we'll be wiping our bums in the future.
I'm happy that you're happy, but the place where you're supposed to have the toilet paper, you got this little shelf with 3 seashells on it.
He doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells.
So Maneater was developed by Tripwire Interactive. If that name sounds familiar, it's because they are the guys responsible for the Killing Floor series. Well, not wanting to forget their roots, at this location on the map, you can find this.
Port Clovis City Council never misses an opportunity for cross-franchising.
Yep, you guessed it, these are actually characters from the Killing Floor series. Regular viewers of my channel will be well aware of my hatred towards Titanic Easter eggs in video games, but seeing as this game is set underwater, I'll give it a pass. At this location on the map, you can find this.
This recreation of the Titanic was so accurate, 1,500 people died during its maiden voyage.
So this recreation of the Titanic even features a nod to this famous scene from James Cameron's Titanic. Speaking of Easter eggs that are far too common, what video game released over the last couple of years would be complete without a Pennywise Easter egg? At this location on the map, you can find this.
Even after the creation of a killer clown task force, clown-related homicide still remains a problem in Port Clovis.
So I have to give Maneater props. Instead of the normal red balloon you can find in most games, in Maneater we actually get to see Pennywise standing behind the grate, which makes for a nice change. The next movie reference can be found at this location.
Pulling off a successful casino heist is made even harder when you drive off the road into the ocean and drown.
So this one isn't a visual reference, but the name of Ocean's 11 and the narrator's description of a casino heist gone wrong is an obvious reference to the George Clooney and Brad Pitt movie Ocean's 11. Time for another movie that seems popular with game developers now. At this location on the map, you can find this.
As is well known, volleyballs make way better friends than soccer balls, who will stab you in the back the first chance they get.
So this island is a reference to the Tom Hanks movie Castaway, complete with a friendly volleyball referencing Wilson from the film. You can also spot a help sign written in stones on the island. Our next movie reference, I did say there was a lot of them, can be found at this location on the map.
A clock would hardly be the strangest thing ever retrieved from a crocodile's mouth.
So this crocodile statue with a clock in its mouth is a reference to Peter Pan and more specifically Captain Hook's arch nemesis, the crocodile that ate his hand. Our final movie reference can be found at this location.
Hockey sticks are still legal according to Baton Tordu course rules, but not for long if membership director Doug Thompson has anything to say about it.
So this is a reference to the Adam Sandler movie Happy Gilmore. The Doug Thompson that the narrator speaks of is a reference to a character in the movie, and the hockey sticks are a nod to the fact that Sandler's character was a hockey player in the movie and sometimes used hockey sticks to take golf shots. So that does it for the movie and TV references. Let's move on to some of the more unique locations in the game. First up is our first sighting of a great old one that can be found at this location.
If a group of consenting adults wants to perform cryptic rites to shadow forth the prophecy of the great old ones, who am I to judge?
So this is the H.P. Lovecraft creation Cthulhu. The second sighting of Cthulhu can be found at this location.
While they appreciate human sacrifices, the eldritch gods of yore are seldom enthused about being summoned to Port Clovis.
Up next is a nice bit of humour. At this location on the map, you can find this.
I have one of those new pop-up tub stoppers at home, and let me tell you, those things are just a magnet for hair and debris.
So as the narrator says, a tub stopper, or as us Brits call it, a plug. Unfortunately, there is no way to pull the plug out of the ground. Next up is a reference to another sea-themed video game. At this location, you can find this.
No one knows who built this mysterious underwater base, but odds are they probably own a Nehru jacket and a Persian cat.
So this base is very similar to the bases seen in the Eggcellent Subnautica. Our next discovery is one of my favourites in Maneater. At this location, you can find this.
Giant monsters, or kaiju, occasionally visit Port Clovis to pregame, before destroying more worthwhile cities.
So this chain door is apparently all that stands between us and a kaiju wreaking havoc. For those that don't know, a kaiju is a type of strange beast popular in Japanese cinema. Speaking of strange beasts, at this location on the map, you can find this.
If a T-Rex is your favorite dinosaur, then you're boring and unoriginal and you need to pick a different favorite dinosaur.
Another strange find can be found at this location on the map.
Even the self-driving technology of Gazorpazorp is not without its reliability concerns.
At this location you can find a replica of Stonehenge,
When it was discovered that their Stonehenge replica was astronomically misaligned, enraged Port Clovians threw it in the ocean.
and at this location you can find a reference to the Statue of Liberty.
Renewal, but mostly it exists to be exploited and commodified. A great way to discourage museum attendance is to put your museum underwater.
Our final Easter egg for today's video is a reference to the mysterious street artist Banksy, known as Pranksy in Maneater. So that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, then a like is really appreciated. And if you are a fan of Easter eggs and secrets in games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. If you want to help support the channel further, then consider becoming a patron using the link in the description. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.